Hey guys, how are y'all doing? So I need you to understand, they are labeling this storm that is coming as a catastrophic event, and it hasn't even hit yet. So I am urging all of you today, it is Wednesday, the 21st of January, to go ahead and get prepared if you are not. Stock up on items that you know you will need. Stock up on items that you can use if your power goes out. It is supposed to be freezing temperatures. Ice on power lines does not mix. People will lose power. I will probably lose power. I lost power this morning. Okay. I'm laying in bed, I'm listening to my sermon, and a loud boom shakes the house. Shakes the house, and the lights go out. Boom! Shining through this window next to me. Light just shoots into the window because there's a transformer on a pole across the street by the farm. I'm telling you, we need to be preparing. These storms are getting worse and worse each and every time they come. Now, granted, they sometimes call for snow and it don't snow, or they call for sleet and it don't sleet. They call for rain and it don't rain. But everything is not natural anymore. Some things are man-made. So I'm not going to get deep into that, but we need to be preparing whether it's natural or man-made. We need to have our homes filled with the items that we need and not make that our idol. We need to know that these things will help us sustain, and what it don't, God will provide. But to have nothing leaves you where? So this is dangerous weather that is expected. Some people's temps, I know our temp here is supposed to be at some point 8 degrees. Some people will see below temperatures, negative temperatures. I live not far from Boone. So they're calling for snow Saturday, Sunday in Boone, North Carolina. Temperatures lows 17 degrees. Later that week, Monday and Tuesday, temperatures 7 degrees, temperatures 4 degrees, temperatures 3 degrees. Our electric grid, our grid cannot withstand this weather. It cannot. And this is going to be deadly weather for a lot of people. Even where I'm at, they're calling for snow rain mix Saturday and Sunday with temps 19 and 16 degrees. Then later on in that week, on Tuesday, 9 degrees. By Friday next week, 9 degrees. Highs of only 32. 32 is freezing. So we have to get prepared. We can't just say, oh, you're spreading fear. Is it fear that I'm spreading by telling you to prepare ahead of time, to be proactive, not reactive? Because being reactive, you're too late. Running out on Friday when you know the weather is coming, you may not find what you're looking for. I went in the stores yesterday to get a few items. I have stuff here, but to get a few items just in case it's more than they say it's going to be. And if it's not, oh well, we'll have it for the next event, right? So don't take this as fear mongering. Take this as, me trying to nudge you to do the things that you may have been procrastinating about, or, you know, saying, well, nothing's going to happen, so I'm not going to do it. And then you're caught off guard. You're caught off guard. So we're going to dig into what this story is talking about. We're going to shoot on over to a flashback of a few situations that took place. One in 2014 in Atlanta, with how, you know, they didn't believe, you know, that the snow was going to come or the ice was going to come. And then when it started coming, that's when, okay, we're going to cancel school, but school's already started. We're going to cancel school. We're going to close all these businesses, and we're going to let everybody go at the same time. Knowing the traffic in Atlanta, and this could be anywhere. Traffic, period, is bad. But when you close everything down at one time and everybody's on the road and it's snowing and ice is falling, you are calling for a disastrous situation to happen. People being stuck in their vehicles for hours on end. Elderly, young kids in freezing temps. And maybe, just maybe, you don't even have a half a tank of gas. You may have been on a quarter tank of gas. You may have said, well, I'll just get some when I get off from work. And then boom, something happens, and now everybody's off from work. And you're stuck. Children are stuck on school buses in the cold. Y'all know some of these school buses don't even have heat half the time. Some kids stuck at school, sleeping. Some kids stuck in daycare. Some people working while their kids might have made it home, and now their kids are home alone because now they can't get off because they can't even get on the road. So we have to understand, when we lack preparation, expect the worst. Pray for the best. I mean, that's all we can do anyway. So enough of me jaw jacking. Please hit that like button, share this video out, because this is just keeping you in the know on the go. And I don't want this to be a long video, but I'm already 7 minutes in, so I'm gonna try not to be longer than at least 20 minutes. Okay, so just be patient with me and let's get into this video. So again, they're calling this ice blast, catastrophic winter storm. Is coming with devastating ice, freezing rain, heavy snow forecast from Texas to the Carolinas. So I feel like they need to say it like this because people would ignore it any other way. A brutal snowstorm is set to cause chaos with unrelenting freezing temperatures. Multiple blasts of snow, ice, and winds are set to batter the U.S. that experts have warned could take lives. This is how serious it is because they know how our infrastructure is. They know people are going to lose power. People are not going to have heat. People are not going to have access to water because it's going to be frozen. Pipes may be burst. I pray to God it is not mine, because there's only so much preparedness I know that I can do financially. But what I can do, I try to make sure we're okay. I even called my oldest daughter with 4 children, you know, and a husband. And I'm like, are y'all getting ready? Because she's in South Carolina. Are y'all getting ready for the weekend? Even if nothing comes, are y'all getting ready? This is the middle of the week. We have time. We have time. If you don't have a weather radio, now is the time to get a weather radio. Get that backup water that you may need to flush your toilets, to stay clean. Now is the time. And she's like, well, I'm getting as ready as I can. I made an order. I placed the order that she'll go pick up later today when she gets off, you know, for things in case the power goes out. Because in South Carolina, everywhere, but in South Carolina for sure, because I lived there, that power, the minute ice get on that line, it's gone. No power. No power. I'm actually may take her one of my solar power stations, but I need to check with her also to make sure she got like a space heater. So that way, if the power do go out, they can take a blanket or two, put it up on whatever openings they have for a certain room, and then they just all cluster in the living room. That'll hold that heat in there. Everybody will be warm. If you need to recharge the power station, then you can take it to your car and you can charge it that way and then bring it back in. Your refrigerators, your freezers, they will all be fine as long as people are not going in and out, in and out, in and out, and you're losing temp on things. But we got to stay prepared. We got to make sure we're checking on our older children who are out here because they might not be paying attention. Check on the elderly because they may not know or they may not have. So this is a snowstorm here. I-196. The awful weather is set to turn roads into ice. Americans are being warned to brace themselves for a new storm that could coat roads, trees, power lines. If the trees hit the power line's gone. If the trees don't hit the power lines, but the power lines freeze, power is gone. If power is gone, it's going to the water as well, because you need power to keep the water flowing, to keep it healthy, to keep it clean. So now you don't have clean water. So get some empty bottles, get some containers, put some water in there now. Right before the storm is expected in your area, if you want to, clean your bathtub out. If you don't have the bladder that goes over the bathtub, you know, that's the plastic bag that can go over the bathtub, and you can put water in and use that water around your house whenever you need it. Put some water in your bathtub. The storm arriving late this week and into the weekend is shaping up to be a widespread, potentially catastrophic event from Texas to the Carolinas. And this is a warning from the chief scientist at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Because we don't have to just worry about this weekend in the weather that's coming in. Because even if it don't snow in your area, but if it rain in your area and your temps are a certain temp, now you got iced over roads that could be catastrophic. And that's according to Newberry Electric Cooperative in South Carolina. As well as the south of the nation, an extremely cold Arctic air mass is set to head south from Canada, setting up a major clash with the bad weather coming in from the east across Southern America. This is extreme, even for this being the peak of winter. National Weather Service meteorologists are warning this is extreme, even for the peak of winter. They're saying it's extreme. They're saying, to me, that's saying this is unheard of. I say weather manipulation. I say cloud seeding. I say read into everything. So they're also saying when the cold air meets the rain, the likely result will be major winter storms with very impactful weather, with all the moisture coming up from the Gulf and encountering all this particularly cold air that's spilling in. Brutal weather has already devastated parts of the country in recent days. Keep emergency supplies in your house. Keep emergency supplies. Keep those emergency supplies also. This is the pile up right here. Keep them in your vehicle. Muted. These supplies are going to keep you, hopefully, until you can get out of that situation. If you have space in your vehicle, store you a few things of water. Don't have to be a lot. Store you some water, store you some protein crackers or something, store you a blanket or something. Just make sure you have something to protect yourself if you get stuck in a situation, because people have been known to be stuck in their vehicles for hours on end, running on fumes. The car and them running on fumes, freezing. They're showing things. This is right here, Asheville in 2022, Charleston, South Carolina in 2025, and Cordell, Georgia also. So let's take a look at that.
Southeast is bracing. On top of this, too, while the Great Lakes deal with more snow showers, the Southeast is bracing for that crippling ice impact. Georgia and the Carolinas will be in the bullseye as this storm progresses Saturday and into Sunday. So this is the storm system that we have been tracking here for the past few days. There are still a lot of mechanics going into the forecast, so things may shift and change as we continue throughout the end of the week and even moving into this weekend. But let's take a closer look at what we have going on right now. So there is that increased potential for that significant icing in areas like Georgia, Alabama, into the Carolinas, up into Tennessee. And so what we have going on is basically all of that colder air that's been impacting the north is going to be funneling farther south. So we have that very cold Arctic air that's going to be coming down at the surface. But just above the surface, we have much warmer air, that buoyant air that's going to continue to rise. So we have a warm pocket just above all of that Arctic air that's just below at the surface here. And this is a really interesting graphic here, Craig, because this really kind of shows what's going on in the atmosphere.
See so much in the way of ice. And another reason you could see some places seeing the ice pile up, build up more than an inch in some cases in some of the forecasts for us. And especially once we look for places like I-10 to I-40 from Texas all the way through portions of Tennessee, that's going to be significant.
Yeah, exactly here, Craig. And I mean, we were talking areas seeing up to a quarter to a half an inch widespread. More isolated areas could see over half an inch of ice. And it does not take a lot of ice to cause serious problems on roads, impact those power lines. Timing wise for the Southeast, again, this is going to be more so into the later half of the weekend, probably more so into Saturday afternoon and into the overnight hours into Sundays, when we're going to start to watch for that precipitation rolling on through. And that's where we're going to see that wintry mix and even those ice impacts.
End it here. Thank y'all for watching. I hope that you are prepared. I do keep links in my description of some of the solar power stations that I use. If you don't want to use one of them, go out. Maybe if you can afford a generator, get a small generator, get the fuel for that generator. If not, listen, I don't know what else to say. I can only do so much. I'm gonna leave y'all with 2 Timothy 3, but understand this, that in the last days, dangerous times, that is of great stress and trouble, will come. Difficult days that will be hard to bear. For people will be lovers of self, narcissistic, self-focused, lovers of money, impelled greed, boastful, arrogant, revelers, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, and profane, unloving of natural human affection, irreconcilable, malicious gossips, devoid of self-control, brutal, haters of good, traitors, reckless, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, holding to a form godlessness, although they have denied its power. Because for their conduct nullifies their calm of faith. God will provide. But God also wants us to take the information that we are receiving and do what we can with it. And he will fill in the gaps. He will meet the needs. That's his provision. So I don't know why I even went on that. But anyway, I want to end the video here because this is supposed to be a short video. I pray that you all will be safe. I pray that you all are prepared as much as you can be with what you have, with your financial means, not what someone else has, you know, because God doesn't want us to have that spirit of envy or jealousy or any of that stuff. You have what you have, and God will provide the rest. Y'all stay blessed. Take care. Hit the like button. Share the video out. And I love you, but God truly loves you more. He created only one you. Be the very best you that you can be. And when you are, go out and spread God's love. Peace, love, and light. Thanks for being here on Tommy Bites Homestead. And if you haven't subscribed, I hope that you do. I encourage you to. You know, stay in the know, on the go. Although this was supposed to be a short video, God put that on my heart, and here it is out to the world. Had no intent. I was actually studying something and had nothing to do with the weather. But after that whole boom came through and my power went out, and I said, you know what? It's a storm coming, and I have an obligation to at least encourage people to go out now while today is Wednesday and get a little bit of rations for their home. Y'all take care. Bye.